Hi guys, I hope all of you are doing well. I'm Beauty Ambassador. Nice to meet all of you. Welcome to Beauty Ambassador TV, where everything is raw, everything is uncut, and I'll let you know when I edit something, but I just like it raw, and I'm so thankful to be here today. And it's a lovely day. I'm really thankful for this day. So I'm just done with work this morning, and I'm just taking you around. Then I'll start making the video like when I get back to the chamber. Okay, it's really nice today. I feel like it's going to rain, but it's a blessing, you know. The rain, it pours down a lot of the rain here. But it's okay, you know. It's always okay. My phone just dropped, so I will find a way to like get it back to normal. Yeah. Okay, like I said, welcome to my channel where I leave my videos raw, because I do not cut them. And if it happens that I do edit any of them, I will definitely let you know. Like right now, it's dropping, but it's okay. We will get things back to normal. Okay. All right. So moving on. All right. So, well, you can still see me, so that's the most important part of it. Yeah. So for those of you that are new to this channel, I'm Beauty Ambassador. When you get me to thousands, then I'll tell you more about Beauty Ambassador. I'm so delighted to see all of you here watching and tuning in. Sometimes even when you are at work or you are at the hospital, you still watch me. I'm so thankful to all of you. I'm very happy. So far, you always inspire me, guys. You always do inspire me, and I just don't know how to thank you for that. I'm really grateful. And for those of you who have subscribed to this channel, the Beauty Ambassador channel, thank you so much for your full support. Some of you have not subscribed yet, but you like on and off and on viewer, sometime full-time, sometime part-time. It's great. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all of you, even the silent viewers. I do appreciate all of you, and I thank all of you for everything you've done for me so far. You are the best. You always rock, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Oh my goodness. I'm so joyful, guys. I'm really, really joyful. I'm alive, I'm well, and that's the greatest news. You know, you can have every money in the whole world, but if you are sick, the money is going to go through the sickness, and honestly, sometimes it doesn't work, you know. The reason why I lean on God is because when the doctors fail to respond, or when they like give up on a human being, God intervenes and he steps in. Even if like sometimes I do talk to some people, you know, they will be like, I do not believe in God, but when something bad happens to them, they feel like someone is doing a backup job. The specialist is doing a backup job, and that's God. And it's okay however you want to call him. So I call him my more than enough. I call him my unconditional loving God and Father. And you know, before I was a victim of a hit and run, I still worship him. And I'm telling you that for those of you who are just worshiping God because that's how you knew him or anything like that, so my parents have actually taught me about God and have taught me about believing God. But you know, you've got to do it for yourself as well. So I grew up and I started seeking for God for myself, you know, not for my parents. And I realized that he's truly, truly God. He's truly real, you know. And so having an intimacy with him was more than enough for me. And I did understand when I continued to walk with him that worshiping him is to make love to him. Listen to me carefully. I'm not blaspheming or anything. Worshiping God, it's making love to him. Because you imagine loving somebody. Like, I will give you an example. Like, some of you say, oh, you love someone, you love your wife, you love your girlfriend, you love your boyfriend. You know, I just like how people do it. I love my boyfriend, I love my girlfriend. It just goes like that, you know. But I don't hear it when they say, I love my husband, you know, I love my wife. But I see them like emphasizing so much when they say, I love my boyfriend, I love my girlfriend. You know, that kind of like really makes me like just laugh and say, wow. So we should be saying, I love my husband, I love my wife. We should be saying that. I mean, like when I hear I love my boyfriend, I love my girlfriend, you know, that's like whoa. So like there is more power when they say I love my girlfriend, I love my boyfriend. You know. Okay, so I was saying that when you choose to love someone, whether your husband or your wife, you see the love you have for them, you like, sometimes if you don't see that person, you feel like, oh, something is missing. Exactly, that's how I related to God. And anything you can do with that person, you can tell that person everything you're going through, like everything you have in your heart. And so that connection was there even before me being a victim of hit and run. So how did this happen? Like, I was telling the story, and some of you have listened to the one I did in part 1 and part 2 and part 3. And so just go and listen to them. And so this is going to be the full version of what happened. Okay, so I do know that I'm not perfect, and I'm made in God's image like anybody else. I'm not special than anyone, and we do have the same gifts He gives to us. And honestly, sometimes, like, when He gives us gifts, we could like just develop those gifts. If we do not use things He put in us, those things are not going to grow. They're not going to be activated. So activating the gift is really good. It was a beautiful day, and I believe it was actually, I will check that day and tell you exactly what day of the week it was, because I love the days of the weeks, and every of them are so different, and I do celebrate every time. Like, I did ask, like, what day of the month what day of the week I was born. So I do celebrate the day of the week I was born, actually, as well, because I feel like it's so fun. It's so fun to do that. And I do not wait for my birthday to actually celebrate me. I do celebrate me every day, every second of my life. I do want to take that advantage and celebrating me, actually. So, and honestly, one bright day I went to work. At that time I was a banker. I did work with the bank. So I went to work and everything was great. I did so well that day at work. I even like got promotion actually that day, and I also got some good news actually as well. And I was given like a reward, just like a gift, to go to a restaurant or a place that I really want to go to, and just use that and purchase anything I wanted there. So that came from work, and I'm grateful to them for doing that day. And I actually did not drive that day. I took the trains and the buses to get to my workplace. So when I got done with work, I actually went like I stopped somewhere. I made some music, like I wrote some songs and I was singing the song, just singing the song I wrote. And I got into another train and I met some people in the train. So they were talking to me, and the conversation led to talking about God. So, and then some of them wanted to receive Jesus Christ, and I said, okay, well, and I led them to Jesus Christ actually. and they were so excited and happy, but they actually wanted to go to worship God where I go worship God. And I say, you listen, you can worship God anywhere. And so, or if you want, you can just go to a congregation, because I hear people say church, but the people, you know, like people are at church, you know, people are church, you know, so the church is the people. So church congregation is the building where the people go to. That's how I can put it to you, lovelies. And so the people were like really happy to have been led to Christ that day. And they were trying to get my phone number to get to me, and you know, and also like tell me how they're doing, you know. But I told them that it's fine, you know, I keep on praying for them and make sure that they're still walking with him, you know. And also, if they needed help, there are so many places they can go to. And if they like the congregation, for them to like learn more about the Bible, learn more about the Trinity, learn more about everything they want to learn about being a believer in Christ, believer of Christ, and get baptized if it's time for them to do that, you know. Then I continued singing my song, and I was like a block away from my chamber actually, and I didn't see it happen. Instead, I died. Someone actually knocked me down like on the way. I was just on my lane, pedestrian lane. I did not cross the road. I was just like minding my business, and there was a van or a car just hit me on that place where I legally was walking. So it was a sad thing, and so that cost my life actually. I was dead. Yeah, I was dead, guys. And it's emotional. So even like when I'm saying this and I'm telling this story, if my mother was here, she would have been like, please turn that subject, because she saw a lot, and it was a lot of stress on her, you know, because of what happened to me. You know, you're not imagining something like that will happen, but all of a sudden something like that happens, and they'll call you and say, oh, so and so is at the hospital. Why? Really? You know. So I was told by the hospital that when I got hit, somebody was very nice, really kind enough to call the ambulance for me, you know. And I ended up being dropped at the hospital. So since the hospital did not know who I was, they actually will give me a name. So my name at that time, because they didn't know who I was Jane Doe. Because if I was a boy, it would have been John Doe. But my name, before somebody will recognize me, was Jane Doe, guys. Jane Doe. I'm telling you. I'm going to take my drink with me. Yeah. And I'm going to my chamber. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to get out. Then you see me like getting my phone from the other side. I'm not forgetting my drink actually. I'll be right there. Okay guys, so guys, it's me. So yes guys, so this is what happened. Let me just adjust this really fast. Yeah, let me adjust it really fast. Okay, so, and also let me look presentable to all of you. Yeah, okay, I guess it looks great that way. Yeah, so guys, taking a sip here. I'm making sure that I still have things that I needed to have on me here. Okay, guys, we're scrolling, we are moving. Yeah, so someone, a good Samaritan actually, took me, called an ambulance, and they picked me up and dropped me at the hospital. They actually dropped me at the hospital that is really you know, like the most powerful hospital. And I went there, and I'm telling you honestly that I did not expect it myself to be at the hospital that day, but it happened, you know. Stuff happened, you know, and so there's nothing I could say or do about that, really. So, and I was really laying somewhere there at the hospital. And I guess they got the information that I was a gender, and I was told that behind my phone, you know, there was like my mother's phone number, her name, and everything. So that's how they got in touch with my mother, and she traveled all the way to come and see her baby, to come and see her baby, to come and see her sweetheart, me, her darling. And so she came to the hospital with my father, and my mom said that she actually begged and asked the hospital people to please show me to her, and they put my body where all the cadavers were laying, and she cried when she saw my body. She really cried. So she began to intervene in prayers for me, and she said she refuses for me to die. And she asked the hospital personnel to actually look for a room that is already clean, empty, and a bed that is clean, and some nice and fresh beddings. And so that was done, and they put my body on that bed. And she kept on praying for me. So when I became like from the dead, or from the death stage to being in coma, then I was in coma after. Then in coma, I know she was talking to me. One thing you have to know is that even if a person is dead or is in coma or is not in coma but unconscious, still people could still listen and hear others. And so I was actually in heaven, and there in heaven, only thing I did with the other people I saw in heaven, first I saw they told me they were the 24 elders. They look really white, like white, like Siamese cats, and that type of color, like up and down. You see them like that, up and down. Like, see how you see my face, you will see my face again down. So that's how they look like. They were like dressed up like majestically. Everything was white, and they were singing and rejoicing, and I was also singing with them. And everything we did in heaven was joy, like singing and worshiping God. And they had like incense, like in the Catholic Church, Catholic congregation, church congregation. So like they have incense and they go like that, and you know how that goes. Yeah, by the way, I was Catholic before, and I studied actually at the Catholic Church as a kid. I knew Latin, so yeah, I knew Latin, so that was good. That's one advantage actually in some of the science books and like expressions, like scientific words and expressions. Sometimes like if they're like Latin root, I just go like, oh, I know what that means and stuff, So I love that fact that I did study Latin just like that. It wasn't because it was like to understand things that were like preached, like credo, all those things, so you kind of want to know. So I studied that at early age, so I still got it now. So that was what happened, and I was on that bed, still unconscious, still in coma, and I was telling you, I was in heaven, singing and worshiping God with the 24 elders. So when I saw the incense, like they were like lifting the container like up and down. When they go like that, it's like the prayers people have like on earth, like if anyone was praying even now, someone is praying. The prayers go there and they're being lifted. They'll be lifted. So anytime it goes like that, you see like the smoke goes up, ascend up. So the prayers were like lifted up to the Most High King, God the Father. And it was amazing. Everything looked so beautiful, you know. There was no ugly thing up there. Everything looked so glamorous. Like, you talk about glamour on earth, that's nothing compared to what is in heaven. And heaven is on earth actually as well. And when you see it, you will know for real. And only thing I did was worship God, praise Him, sing to Him, and sing to Him. Like, we sung like we like singing opera song, but then it was more than that. It was more than that. So, and we were all like rejoicing and always like happy there. So, and one day my mom was like praying and talking to me, and I came back to life and I became conscious. And the one thing I said I knew was my mother, and I saw my father as well. Then the next thing I knew, I saw my sibling. I was like, how did you guys get here? They say, oh, this happened in we were called, you know, so we had to rush here to see you. And I was like, Mom, what happened? And she's like, it's a long story. And she kept on cleaning me. I'm like, Mom, why are you cleaning me? Why is blood everywhere? And I'm telling you, I was writing to her. I couldn't talk. My neck, my chin were like this side, like turned to one direction. And if someone was telling me a story and making jokes and stuff, and if the joke was funny or the story is funny and I wanted to laugh, I just cough. That's how I participated, telling the person, your story is funny, your story is a good story, ha ha, you know. I look really awful. It was really bloody awful, I'm telling you. Like, blood was coming out of here like a waterfall, and blood was everywhere here. So like when I was in heaven, when I was in coma, I saw 8 people working on my head. But when I woke up and I met the doctors, I began to ask, why did I see 8 people working on me